We kick things off by grabbing the viewer's full attention. No small talk, just straight truth. They've been spending way too much time watching what everyone else is doing, scrolling through other people's wins, checking who's ahead, and wondering why they feel stuck. So the energy comes in hot, calling that out immediately. The speaker doesn't judge, but they don't sugarcoat either. They lay it down. If you're always looking at someone else's path, you're never fully walking your own. That's the trap. This part is meant to shake the viewer awake. It's about making them realize that their focus is being hijacked every single day, and they've let it happen. And then comes the turning point, the realization that everything starts changing the moment they reclaim their focus and put it back where it belongs, on themselves. Dives into the real damage comparison does to our minds and progress. The speaker unpacks how constantly measuring your life against someone else's creates pressure, self-doubt, and distraction. It's not just unhealthy, it's exhausting. There's a moment of truth here, pointing out that most people are chasing an illusion, a filtered version of someone else's life. And while you're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, you're falling further from your own potential. The speaker uses a relatable story or example. Maybe someone who was always looking sideways and lost their identity in the process. It hits home, then the truth drops hard. Comparison doesn't motivate, it manipulates. It pulls your energy away from where it could actually make a difference on your own goals, your own growth. This moment is meant to make the viewer pause, reflect, and feel a little fire building inside. The question now becomes, if comparison isn't the answer, what is? Now the speaker shifts gears and starts building. After tearing down the habit of comparison, it's time to teach what real focus actually means. And it's not just about staring at something, it's about staying with it, staying consistent, committed. The speaker might use a strong visual, like a flashlight lighting up a room versus a laser cutting through steel. Both use light, but one is scattered while the other is powerful and precise. That's focus. It's the difference between average and elite. Then we dive deeper. Focus isn't just about what you give your time to. It's what you give your energy and emotion to. Whatever you focus on, you feed, and whatever you feed grows. So if you're constantly focusing on others, you're feeding their dreams, not yours. The message gets clear. If you want to win in your own life, you need to put your full attention on your lane, your mission, your next step. This part starts to feel more grounded and personal. Now that the viewer understands the power of focus, the speaker shows them how to start turning that focus inward and building a life centered around their own growth. It's not about being selfish, it's about becoming strong enough to serve, lead, and live with purpose. The tone becomes a bit calmer, more intentional, but still passionate. Practical tools start showing up. The power of morning routines, creating space for silence, journaling, tracking your thoughts. The speaker might say something like, "The first hour of your day programs your mind. Make sure it's programming you, not for them." The idea is to rebuild your foundation by making time for reflection, self-check-ins, and emotional alignment. They're reminded that when you focus on yourself, you start making decisions based on your values, not on trends or validation. By the end of this part, the viewer feels empowered, not just inspired. Like, I can actually do this. Takes the viewer deeper. It's no longer just about routines or mindset shifts. It's about embracing the quiet seasons. The speaker talks about the moments where you feel alone, when you've pulled away from distractions, when no one's clapping. And it's just you. Those silent seasons aren't empty. They're sacred. That's where growth really happens. The speaker might bring up a powerful story, maybe of someone who disappeared to work on themselves and came back transformed. They explain that silence is where clarity is born. When you cut the noise, you start to hear your own voice again. That's when your vision sharpens. There's emotion here. The speaker reassures the viewer. It's okay to unplug. It's okay to disappear for a while. You're not losing time, you're gaining power. This part helps the viewer stop fearing solitude and start seeing it as the necessary space where greatness is built. Now the energy rises again. This part is all about owning your power. The speaker breaks down how focusing on yourself isn't just about clarity or peace, it's about protecting your energy. Your energy is your life force, your drive, your edge, and every time you let someone distract you, trigger you, or drain you, you're giving a piece of that energy away. So this section becomes a wake-up call. You are not available for everything and everyone. The speaker teaches how to be intentional with your time, your space, your attention. There's urgency in the tone. Viewers are told to start filtering. Does this conversation fuel me or drain me? Does this habit serve my future or sabotage it? Maybe there's a line like, "You don't need more time, you need fewer leaks." The viewer is encouraged to reclaim their energy and channel it back into their goals, health, mindset, and craft. This is where the message hits deep. When you focus fully on yourself, you become unstoppable, not because of what you do, but because of who you're becoming. Brings it all home with fire, emotion, and a direct call to action. The speaker looks the viewer straight in the eye and reminds them of everything they've just heard. How comparison steals your power, how silence fuels your growth, and how self-focus unlocks your next level. Then comes the challenge: no more halfway living, no more giving energy to people who don't invest in you, no more waiting for permission. The speaker tells them, this is your moment, your story, your mission, and it starts when you decide that you are worth your full focus. The tone is passionate, urgent, and personal. There's a moment where the viewer is invited to commit, to comment, to say it out loud, to write it down. I choose me. The speaker ends with impact. The world doesn't need another person trying to be someone else. It needs the version of you that you've been hiding. Go build that and don't look back. A deep breath. Fade out, mission complete.